We are back for Let's Talk Books.
Ready?
Wait. Welcome to Let's Talk Books Unscripted.
There we go.
Woo.
We've gotten out of like the official practice with that once we switched to live. I feel like, because we're all just kind of like, oh hi, but we got to keep it rolling. Our youngest was saying it before we put our kids to bed tonight, because like she saw that Corey had our setup all done and. She's like, welcome to Let's Talk Books Unscripted. If you've been watching for a while, by the way, there was one, and it was not a live episode, because we recorded them ahead of time.
Yeah.
And they did the introduction for our video.
That was cute.
That one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All their little voices.
It was very cute.
We're very cute. And now we have her wanting to come on for a Let's Talk Books and talk about her books. So
I know.
We'll see. Maybe we'll have a kid version one of these times. I don't know if any of you would tune in for that.
Hey, Sally.
Hi, Sally.
Welcome.
But maybe the kids could give some of their recommendations for
some of their books. That'd be cool. Yes. I'm drinking lemon lime. Ooh, love the hair, Liz said.
Oh, thank you.
Lemon lime sparkling water. Do you guys have like a specific brand
sparkling water
of sparkling water? Like I know there's all these different brands, but they all just like I just like them all. I don't judge.
I was gonna say, see, I've been having a hard time finding ones that I like because I'm picky, and it either needs to be sweet enough, but not too sweet.
Yeah.
Like I can't stand LaCroix. Sorry for all you LaCroix drinkers. He likes it, but. To me, I just feel like then I might as well just be drinking plain water, because I feel like it's a watered down whatever flavor they're trying to go for. So I struggle with LaCroix. But we have a couple different flavors of the one that Corey's drinking that I do like. There's like a tropical one, and then I don't remember the other one. Tonight I'm having an Olipop though, a cream soda Olipop. It's kind of fun to pour it over ice in a wine glass. This glass says mommy juice. So yeah, my mommy juice tonight is a delicious cream soda Olipop, and yeah, I love me some Olipop. I don't know if there are any Olipop or Poppy drinkers out there, but I have to say Olipop is the winner for me. So yeah, their cream soda is really delicious. You're more of a Poppy fan if you had to choose between the two?
What I've had so far, yes. Quite good.
Yes.
So is anyone experiencing the Arctic blast we're in right now? What are they calling it? The polar vortex.
Polar vortex?
I know they've already canceled school for our kids tomorrow because it's supposed to be negative 35-degree wind chills.
Yes.
Like when they would be leaving, like for the bus stop.
So it was really cold today, but it's gonna be even colder tomorrow. They didn't have school today, not because of the cold, but for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So they recognized that and gave the kids off. I feel like for as long as I can remember, they've had off for this day. I know not all schools do it, but ours were off. So it was good to not have to leave the house. And it was a mail holiday then for Corey. He delivers the mail, so he did not have to do that today. But unfortunately, he probably will have to tomorrow in the cold, because apparently negative 35 isn't cold enough to give the mail carriers the day off. So we're dreading that he has to leave, but I'll be here again.
I gotta prepare mentally for it. So
you gotta be thinking of and praying for him tomorrow as he's on his mail.
But it's very cold. I know it's cold all over. It's cold all over the United States.
Like unusual temps in certain areas where it's not typically cold.
So let us know if you're experiencing any crazy cold.
Or snow. Yeah.
Yes. No snow here. It's not snowing. It's too cold to snow.
Just bitterly cold.
Very, very cold. It's been cold the last 2 days, and tomorrow will be the coldest day.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Exciting.
But enough about drinks and the weather.
Let's talk about books. Let's talk books, not weather. Let's talk weather unscripted.
If you wanted the weather update, you go to your weather app on your phone.
People love weather, so maybe we should try that. We got to first touch on our highs in the 50s. Is that good? Or?
I know, Sally, where are you at again?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Remind us, please, if that's like weird then for you, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Man, 50 sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds great right about now.
So a lot of people who watch this, I know you're part of our virtual book club, so we might have seen you last night on Google Meet talking about this book, the last one at the wedding.
Phoenix. You're in Phoenix.
Oh,
okay.
So that is cold for Phoenix.
Yes, cold. Yeah, the other way around.
Yeah.
It would be cold.
Yeah.
For
I know,
Phoenix.
so everyone's experiencing the polar vortex, which is crazy.
In some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So we were talking about this book last night with the book club, and great discussion. We had our biggest turnout of people. I think we had 16 people tune in, which was pretty cool.
15 or 16.
That was a good turnout for us. We had good discussion about it. Seemed like everyone overall liked it. We all had a couple qualms with it, but overall, very readable book. Good story, well written. The characters were good.
It's marketed as a thriller, I believe, which I feel like it shouldn't be, and it definitely looks like that with the cover. But I would go as far as to say that it's more of a mystery and like a family drama type book. That's kind of what we all like agreed on when we were talking about it last night.
Yeah, but the ending was good. It could have been better, but a lot of twists. I mean, there were a couple shocking, end of chapters that kind of left me hanging.
Yeah.
My jaw open a little bit.
It's a book so if like you are like on the fence about thrillers, or you're like thinking they might be a little bit too scary or disturbing, I would say this would be a good like segue or like one to try.
Yes.
That is very mild, even though I would not really call it a thriller. For that reason, because I just feel like it was pretty mild.
Yeah, a few people at our book club, said this was their first thriller, but they liked it, and now they're interested in like what are some more like this. So we kind of been talking in our group chat about other books that you might want to check out if you like this one. So yeah, I'd say a good thriller. Very tame. It's not. You know.
I mean, there's some disturbing elements to it, but I feel like it's not like you're not gonna be able to sleep at night.
Couldn't stand the daughter. Yeah, Maggie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was trouble from the beginning.
Yes, but see, I didn't think she was that bad at first, but because of course the author didn't want you to think she was.
I had my suspicions from the beginning. She just seemed odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good book. I liked how every character was suspicious, and like every new character and every new like little secret you hear, it's like, ooh, what happened?
Who can you trust?
But ended up being a great book.
Yeah.
Great book club book.
Solid read. It was a good book club discussion, yeah.
We had nothing short to talk about during book club. We only have an hour on Google Meet, and we were talking about.
Yep, ran right almost up to the end.
So that one's done. Book club's done for that.
Well, and our next virtual book club book is in this stack, so we will definitely touch on that one too. And then I guess we were going to talk about current reads.
Yeah.
You literally just started one. This one I've been reading for a few days now, not very long. And I'm pretty darn close to finishing it up. So I, knowing myself, will very likely stay up no matter how late I need to finish this tonight, because it has been really hard to put down. Like when I have found pockets of time to read it during the day, I'm like, I don't want to stop reading it. So it's, I don't know if I would say it's like I guess you could consider it fast paced, but it's still just like, I don't know, it kind of goes at like a pretty steady pace, but it's just like really enthralling. Like just the storyline is just like really bizarre and, makes you want to like find out what the heck is going on with this main character. So it's like an unreliable narrator situation, which I happen to love in books. So just like the really brief synopsis on this one is this woman has the heart of this guy's wife. So his wife dies. No spoilers there, that it tells you about it like right here on the description of the book. And this woman starts corresponding with him through Donor Connect. It's like where you can connect with your your donor, or like your spouse's donor.
Donor, but
correct. This husband, the husband, of the one who dies can connect with the donor. Or I should say, I'm getting it like backwards. I'm like distracted by our dog over there. I think you know what I'm trying to say, but the recipient
it's kind of confusing,
the recipient, I should say, is connecting with the donor's husband. There we go.
Yes.
So they are connecting on Donor Connect, and so the first part of the book they kind of like go back and forth like with their messages, you know, and it has this little blurb at the top, like saying, you have received the following message from your loved one's organ recipient, blah, blah, blah. And they're like saying, don't give away any of your like personal details, like your address and da 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 da. So it's kind of interesting. It like goes through that format. Like they have these like emails back and forth and they're like getting to know each other. And so it's kind of like a book of a little bit of obsession is what you would call it. Like this woman just desperately wants to be loved, this recipient, this heart transplant recipient. And so you feel for her, you know, but you're also just like, oh my gosh, like what is happening? Like this is not normal behavior. So I'm really interested to see what happens. It's called Cross My Heart by Megan Collins. I'm like obsessed with the cover too, and the without the dust jacket. I feel like maybe we've shown these already, but I'm going to show it again. It's really cool. And you can get a copy of this one through Aardvark, which we talk about a lot. So I do have them linked in the description of this video. You could get this one for only $4 because it is one of their January picks. Yep. So yeah, I'm really loving it. It's like a pretty, you know, short-ish book as well. Some of the chapters are a little bit on the longer side, but I love the story so much that I'm forgiving it.
Yes, which is rare.
So... That's that one.
Yeah.
So, I have other reads going on too, but I just wanted to highlight that one.
Yeah. So the beginning of the month, I set up a hopefuls list for myself, and I am doing very well. Mm-hmm. I am on my third hopeful, and it's the one I said I was wanting to read. Mm-hmm. So we're doing very well. Mm-hmm. But it's this book. I showed it on here because I've been meaning to read it for a few months now. But it's Looking for Alaska by John Green. So if you don't know, this is John Green. You've heard of him. Very popular author. This was his debut novel. Kind of like where he got to start. You know, he wrote like The Fault in Our Stars, Turtles All the Way Down. But this was his first book, and it is one that I've wanted to read for a while. It's a coming-of-age story about a young man in high school. He goes off to boarding school. He was didn't have many friends at his old school, and he ends up meeting this group of friends that helps him just, you know, kind of become who he is. And one of the girls he meets, her name is Alaska. And, you know, she's not really the best example for him, but she helps him kind of become who he wants to be. So you gotta love a good coming-of-age story. But it's a short book. It's obviously, you know, geared towards young adults, but it's reading very, very much like not like that, I would say. It reads like a young adult, but, you know, it's good for everyone.
Regular adults, just like us.
The person who I heard talk about this is the same age as me, and he loved it, so.
Yeah.
I should bust this one out pretty quick. But yeah, this will be my third book for the month for me, which is good. That's an accomplishment, because my goal is 2 books a month, but I'm going to try to do 3. And that's why I chose this one, because it's a shorter book, so I can hopefully get to my 3rd book. Yeah. But when we're reading one for book club, that already takes up 1 book.
Yep.
Then I want to choose one from my selection. It'd be great to choose 2 from my selection. Obviously, one of them will maybe be shorter, because I'm not someone who can read more than 3 books in a month. I don't think that's even possible for myself, because I'm a slow reader and I fall asleep easily.
And so you don't get as much daytime, which is your preferred time to read.
Yeah.
Sometimes on the weekends, but not during not during your work week. Yeah.
So I'll definitely have this one done by the end of the month, and maybe I can start a 4th one. You know. So that's the goal. So keep it. If you read this one, let me know. I don't know who has all read this book, because I don't know a lot of people know about it. Just because he has a lot other more well-known books. Yeah. But highly recommend it. So far.
So that just some touching on just those 3 books. And then I guess we kind of decided to go with a theme for tonight to highlight specifically Black authors and Black stories. So we do want to honor Martin Luther King Jr. And everything that he did for so many people and his movement and everything. So, and we're always looking to diversify our library more in general. So we should be reading Black authors and Black stories and other minorities as well all the time, not just, on a specific day or next month when it's, Black History Month, which I think is awesome that we have that, but obviously recognizing these authors all the time. And yeah, just trying to diversify your reading experience. So these are ones that we pulled that we do have. There's obviously other books that I've seen floating around that we just don't have that I would obviously like to read at some point.
There's a lot of good books.
But these are the ones we currently have. One of them I'm actually borrowing from a friend. But we'll go through these and
which one are you borrowing?
Talk a little bit about them.
Oh, you're borrowing that one, yeah.
Yes, this one right here is not my book.
Why don't you dig it? Right?
This is called Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. And this is part of a series, so there are 2 more besides this one. I'm trying to think if it'll show them in here, because if this is the first
That's
book,
then
one, probably not. And yeah, so I can't remember the names of the other ones, but you can definitely go look them up. And my friend told me that they are sisters. So each book is about the other sister then. So this character has 2 sisters, so then the subsequent books are about them.
There's 3 books?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. 3 books. This is book 1, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. It looks really cute. It's actually we noticed that it's an interracial couple too, so there's just some good representation there. In general, and she's British as well. She's a Black British author who lives in a bedroom full of books.
Sounds amazing.
But yeah, this looks really cute. It seems like she's kind of like a by the book kind of person, and so she kind of has gets herself out of that.
She doesn't want to be like that.
Right.
She needs someone to teach her to be a little more extravagant.
Live her life a little bit more.
Not by the book.
Get a life, Chloe Brown. Yep.
She's too by the book. She loves books too much.
So, yeah, I'm excited. I feel like January is maxed out for me. I'm still trying to make it through my January hopefuls without starting too many more books than I kind of told myself I would. So I'm trying to stay true to that because let's face it, we're running out of time already, and I'm going to be moving a couple of those probably into February anyway. But I do want to read this one in February. So
we'll share our February hopefuls.
Yeah, as we get closer.
Once we hit February.
For sure.
I gotta figure that out. I hate planning out my reads.
I know, because I normally don't do
very
that either.
difficult.
But I decided to try it for.
So let's
talk about that one.
Yeah. So this next one is going to be our February virtual book club book, and we're gonna be meeting on Google Meet on February 23rd.
So it's a Sunday. We always meet
on Sunday night. So there is time to join if you want to read this book with us.
Yep.
We've had good discussion.
A solid month really to read it. So.
But it's The Banned Bookshop of Maggie Banks by Shauna Robinson. So this is a book that I probably wouldn't gravitate towards, if I was going to read a book. And but
he's committed to keeping up with the virtual
I'm keeping with the book club. But it actually sounds really interesting. Imagine Prohibition times, but instead of smuggling alcohol, you are have an underground.
You can't even have your bookstore.
Yeah, you have an underground book club.
So
Maggie, she's a bookstore owner, and she lives in this town where they only let you sell specific books. Obviously, you can't sell any of the banned books, and nobody wants to read any of the non-banned books. So Maggie ends up opening an underground book club where they read banned books, and it
it's got I think found family aspect to it. It's all about community and coming together, and it looks.
So
really
she
good.
has to keep it under the radar because. It also says that during this time she unearths a town secret that could upend everything. So this sounds pretty interesting. Yeah. So it's kind of cool with the book club. I never would have picked this book out, but I think I'm going to like it. Yeah. It sounds really. It's kind of a good. I think it's a good.
A feel good
Yeah.
I don't know.
But just an interesting storyline. So. And Katie's favorite, Abby Jimenez, gave her stamp of approval on it. So.
I mean, honestly, a book about books is just, can't go wrong there.
And just over 300 pages. It looks very, very crushable.
Crushable.
So
you've got this.
You've got till the 23rd if you want to join us. Just contact Katie on any of the social medias. We'll get you hooked up with our Instagram chat.
Yep.
And then we can get you the email for when we have our Google Meet on the 23rd. So.
And the next one I'm going to talk about is actually on my Kindle. So I have it all like set to go.
Books about books. I'm
yes.
Yeah, there's so many too, which is awesome.
There's so many choices there. This next one is called Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. So I don't know if anybody has read anything by her, but I have not yet. And I feel like she's got lots of fans. So Colleen Hoover gives her stamp of approval on it. And this is part of a series. So yeah, this is book 1 in a series. I believe there's 2 other books. I could be wrong. If you've read her books and I'm wrong, please correct me. But I was reading the blurb about it before we hopped on here, because I didn't really honestly know too much, like what the specific storyline was or anything with these books. But it looks like it's like a second chance romance. So it's like a married couple. They decide to separate, and they're co-parenting. They do have kids. Things seem to be going well, but it almost seems like they're going to give their relationship a second chance. So yeah, I'd love to see how that plays out. And like I said, I think there are 2 more in the series. I don't know how they're connected, if it's about the same couple or if it's different characters or whatnot. But I've seen a lot of good things about her and that particular series, so I have that waiting for me on my Kindle when I am ready to read it. And they're really pretty books too. I'm kind of sad I don't have it
it's
physically.
not as pretty on the Kindle.
Yeah.
It's not as pretty. Let's see. Here's one that I've been excited to read ever since we found it. I think Katie picked this up at a used book sale over the summer. And it is this book, Black Buck. I don't know if you've seen this book floating around at all. I mean, the cover is unmistakable. But this looks like a book I'm really, really going to like, just because it has a lot of the themes I like, which is like success and business. But it follows a young man named Darren, and he's 23. He lives kind of I don't know, like a young person's life. He works at a Starbucks, like that's part of like a corporate office. So he just worked in the Starbucks, but he ends up getting in contact with someone who is higher up in the company, and he ends up becoming a salesman. He ends up being the first Black salesman for this company. And so it's kind of I don't know, like a success story, but he ends up also like reaching out to other of his friends and teaching them how to become a salesman. And I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of stories I just really, really like. But I guess it's kind of funny. It's satirical, and I don't know.
Yeah, sounds good.
Funny, sharp, but pretty excited. I wish I could pronounce. I was practicing earlier, yes, but I'm very excited about this one. This is one that
it was a Jenna.
Yeah.
Is this a sticker that still doesn't come off? It is we need to take that off.
I know. Do you keep your stickers on your books, or do you take them off? Like, we don't like stickers. Stand them. Well, I mean, don't you want to know Let's Read by Jenna book?
I'll just
remember. You remember, okay.
I don't need it on there.
That one I'm very excited about. I hope I can squeeze it in the next couple months, because I have a feeling I'm going to be very, very pleased with it.
It does look good. Okay, I'm going to talk about these 2 because they're by the same author. So this one, sad to say, I took off immediately.
Stickers off.
Yes. Right?
I know we somehow missed that one.
So this book right here, I started back in June. And you guys can tell me I'm crazy, because I am. It's fine. But I did not finish it. So like, I knew I wasn't going to finish it. And I was like, I don't want to take this book into July. I'm like, it has June on the title. We even made a funny reel about how like, I'm weird like that. And then we made like a little like piece of paper that said July that like we taped over the June. So it's like, oh, well, there you go. Now you can read it in July.
You can read it now, yeah.
So this is called 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I've heard really good things. It started off kind of slow for me, which is maybe part of the reason I wasn't like that. I knew for sure I wasn't going to get it finished in June. But I did start to get into it, but it was just like, I could not bring myself to like, and who cares, right? Like, it's still like a summertime book. I really could have kept going with it. But then fall and winter hit, and I was just like, no, this is a summer book. So what I'm worried about, though, is by the time I get back to it, that I might need to, like, either, I don't know, refresh it by, like, rereading the last couple of chapters, because I still know the premise of the story and, like, what was happening.
So you're going to wait till June to read it again?
Probably.
Okay.
Maybe May. Maybe I could start it in May, but, you know. I'm weird.
And then finish in June?
You can laugh at me.
Start
in
May, finish. Yeah.
But yeah, 7 days in June. I'm trying to think of when this book came out. So, and I think maybe this is her first book. Oh, okay. She even has some young adult books as well. So maybe, no, I don't think this was her first one. She has The Perfect Find and The Accidental Diva, and then her young adult books are It Chicks and 16 Candles. So I'd be interested to check out some of her other books as well. And then this one on my lap is also by her, which I do plan on reading before I go back to that one, because I'm so drawn to this cover. It is absolutely gorgeous. This one's called A Love Song for Ricky Wilde. And honestly, the storyline of this one appeals to me even more than 7 Days in June. That one looks really good. So it's like I'm a music person, so for sure this like just I feel like speaks to my soul.
It speaks to both of our hearts, because she's a florist, he's a pianist.
One florist, one pianist, one love story, 100 years in the making. So this also kind of has like a magical realism element to it as well. I'm going to show you the book without the dust jacket.
You know it's from Aardvark.
All the purples. It's so pretty.
When you see the spine.
So yes, I believe you can still get this with Aardvark. I did look before we came on. I don't know how accurate it is if I go into my account and try to look, because like it's already on my shelf in my app. But I still feel like you would not be able to search for it, or it would come up saying it's like out of stock, like that you can't get it. So I do think they still carry it, because they do run out. They do like get books out of stock and then don't get them back. But you know, it's always worth a look. You could add this one on to your box if you decide to try them for the first time, because then you could pick one of their current picks. That's what you would get for $4 with my promo code. And then you could add like
another always $9.99.
Yeah, like books from previous months, and it's only $9.99 for like a gorgeous
so you get
hardcover.
2 nice hardcover books for $14. So that's what we're saying.
Yes. So this one I would actually really like to read soon, because I just feel like it's been on my shelf for too long, and I'm really interested.
I was surprised how much I was into that, reading the synopsis before we started this.
Oh, and it looks like it takes place in February. So there you go. It'd be a perfect book to read next month.
If you don't finish it, you gotta wait.
Weird. Yeah.
You gotta wait till next February then if you don't finish it. You like,
Okay. Yeah. So you get it. You have like your preferences.
I love the Pellegrino. Yeah. Katie cannot handle non-flavored sparkling water. I love it. Like I love the Perrier.
Yeah, where it's just bubbles with no flavor.
Or like the San Pellegrino.
I'm like, nope, I'll have regular water with no bubbles,
like,
please.
LaCroix has a pure flavor. Gross. It's just the sparkling water. It is so refreshing.
Not my jam.
But yeah. We took our honeymoon in the Dominican Republic, and when we were like out, we came back to our hotel, they always restocked our fridge. And they had
giant.
And they had like these like half-liter bottles of sparkling water, and I would just walk in because it was so hot, and hey, I just walk in and just chug one of the whole things just like in one drink. It was so good.
Like, look.
I think it
was like huge too. They were huge.
Do you know that in France, in Paris, they have sparkling water fountains?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like you go to like a water fountain. But in France, some of them are sparkling water. Isn't that amazing?
You just go around and fill up your water bottle, and
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I know that's.
Didn't we see that on the show Down to Earth?
Yes.
Isn't that how we know that information?
Yes.
So I know we're talking about books, but if you need a good show recommendation as well.
Yeah.
That is fancy, yes.
It is fancy.
Down to Earth on Netflix is a really good watch, and it's like 2 seasons, I think. It's with Zac Efron and what's his name, Darren
Olean,
something like that.
Yeah.
He's an author as well, so he does have books. Darren does.
He does. I have his books.
So there we go. Yep, books. Still
we're talking about
bringing
books.
It back to books.
We're all about books.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk about this one.
Yeah.
So this is a book called By the Book. We were just talking about being by the book. But this is a retelling of
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. So this is
Jasmine Guillory.
Jasmine.
That's how you would say her last name.
So obviously it's a retelling, so it's not the same story, but similar concept. This is a part of a series of books.
Where did I set those? I have 2 of the other ones.
They're not all by the same authors,
they're
but
all by
they're
different
part of a
authors.
series and they all look similar. But like obviously you got Kiss the Girl.
This is The Little Mermaid. This is Cinderella. And then I don't have the newest installment, which is like Tangled Up in You, and so that's the Rapunzel one. So I need to still get that one. But Corey's like, have you read any of the ones that you have so far? And I'm like, no, but I still need it to complete my collection, so I will be getting it eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like they're called a meant to be novel. So that's the series, meant to be. But yeah, they're all by different authors.
So this is the retelling of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It does. It does.
And I don't know why I've waited so long to read it. So.
Yeah, so if you like Beauty and the Beast and you like...
They're really pretty books, too.
It's obviously a romance. And, you know, what's her name? Isabella. Isabel.
I like
and
it.
then she meets... what's his name? Bo.
Bo, okay.
He meets Bo. So Bo's like the brooding beast that she meets, that she needs...
So it's probably like a grumpy sunshine trope. Because that's what Beauty and the Beast is.
Yeah.
That's that trope.
So I don't think this won't be one I'll be reading, but...
I'll give you my notes. It looks cute.
You know.
I'll still tell you about it.
It does look cute. Katie will love it.
Yes, I'm sure I will love it. Let's see, what do we have next? some heavy choices coming up
heavy
here.
Hitters, but...
This one, I will say, I don't know how soon I'll read it. It has been on my shelf for a while, but I'm definitely intrigued by it. But it's going to be one of those that I would have to be like in the right headspace for.
Yeah.
And this is an older book.
It is. I think it's.
Did you see when 93? It was published? Oh, and he has several other books. 93. Yeah, this is called A Lesson Before Dying by Ernest J. Gaines. It was an Oprah's book club pick. This majestic, moving novel is an instant classic, a book that will be read, discussed, and taught to beyond the rest of our lives. And it also is the winner of National Book Critics Circle Award for fiction. It's set in a small Cajun community in the late 1940s. I can read. I'll read the description. It's not too long. Jefferson, a young black man, is an unwitting party to a liquor store shootout in which 3 men are killed. The only survivor, he is convicted of murder and sentenced to death. Grant Wiggins, who left his hometown for the university, has returned to the plantation school to teach. As he struggles with his decision whether to stay or escape to another state, his aunt and Jefferson's godmother persuade him to visit Jefferson in his cell and impart his learning and his pride to Jefferson before his death. In the end, the 2 men forge a bond as they both come to understand the simple heroism of resisting and defying the expected. Ernest J. Gaines brings to this novel the same rich sense of place, the same deep understanding of the human psyche, and the same compassion for a people and their struggle that have informed his previous highly praised works of fiction. It looks very good.
It does.
But just heavy content matter would be I think it'd be a tough read. But yeah, would obviously bring about a lot of discussion, if you were to read it with a book club or a buddy read. It's actually quite short. It's not even 260 pages. So yeah, it is on the shorter side.
Quicker read. Yes.
But yeah, let me know if you've read this one.
What's the next one here? This is one you may have seen, another Oprah book club pick from 2018 selection. An American Marriage, a novel. It's a nice looking book though. It's very.
What's her name?
Tayari Jones. Powerful, both sweeping and intimate. So this one you can see it's gotten a lot of praise. Lots and lots of praise, which is great to see. This is a book that I feel like I've seen around, but I guess I never really looked into it. I was kind of looking through all the books before we started this episode, so I at least have a good idea of what we're talking about. A captivating love story that is also a clear-eyed look at the effects of injustice in contemporary American life. Tayari Jones' novel gorgeously chronicles 3 people who are bound together and separated by forces beyond their control. As newlyweds Celestial and Roy are living the American dream. He is a young executive and she is an artist on the brink of an exciting career. But after Roy's incarceration for a crime he did not commit, Celestial, bereft and unmoored, turns to childhood friend and Roy's best man, Andre, for support. I won't read all of it, but
it seems like it's a love triangle situation.
Yeah, a little bit
probably,
of like,
I'm going to guess, can their marriage withstand, you know, her betrayal, his friend's betrayal, obviously.
Yeah.
So it'd be another heavy read, but probably very well written. And it'd be sad and evoke a lot of emotion there, but it's very interesting to me. I don't know that I heard a whole lot about it before I decided to buy it, but I was just like, intrigued by the cover and obviously read the back of the book, and I was like, oh, that looks like it would be a good read.
If you've anyone read this, let us know, because I'd love to hear what you thought of it.
It was one of our contenders for virtual book club too. I had put that up for a vote for
another shorter book, 305 pages. Yeah, the font is a little smaller. That's
kind of intimidating to you, especially.
I know it's it's shorter book, but the font's a little smaller, so it seems longer. Like I've been
weird like psychological things.
Like I've been reading through. I've been talking about this book, The Secret History, forever. I keep reading. I keep like meaning to read more of it, but it's one of those books that the font is so small, and the margins are so not small. That like it feels like every page takes forever to read, and it's a long book. Like it's almost 600 pages. So it's like one of those books that's gonna take me. I might be reading that book all year, and I'm fine with that. But I just like. When it takes you that long to get through one page, it's very hard. It's very hard to gain momentum. But this one's not that bad.
No. But then I just remembered a book that I want to touch on that I don't have to show you, but I do want to mention it because I brought up book club again. So this one is for my in-person book club. But even if you don't live nearby and you still wanted to like read it anyway, you know, I would always be happy to chat with you.
You do Skype people in too.
And I have done that. Yes, I do want to mention that because I know we have like our official virtual book club one where we're like all scattered around. But I have in the past like had people Zoom or use Facebook Messenger or whatever, like to pop into our in-person one as well. So just have like my laptop set up and
they have good snacks at their book club.
We do. He always is, you know.
I don't always join in on the book club, but I'll go in the basement, I'll sneak up and like I'll grab a plate of snacks and go back down to my dungeon.
He hangs out in the basement with our other TV. When I host. Other people host as well sometimes, but I would say I host most of the time. But the one that we are doing for February with in-person book club is called This Cursed House, and it's by Del Sandine, I believe her name is. And that one looks really good. It's a horror. It's a gothic horror book. Also like categorized, you know, as historical fiction as well. But yeah, that one looks really good. You can find that one on Aardvark as well. So I wanted to make sure to mention that.
You checked that one too?
Yeah, I checked it. So it should still be available. Again, you wouldn't be able to get that one for $4 because that one's like a previous month. I don't know when that one was a pick, but you could still add it on for just $9.99, which is an incredible deal for their gorgeous hardcover books. So I wanted to make sure to touch on that one, even though I don't have it to show you. The reason being my mom is borrowing it. She's also in my in-person book club. So since I hadn't started it yet, I was like, oh, I'm going to wait till we're a little bit closer to meeting to start it. So I'm like, yeah, if you have time now and you want to read it.
Did she start it yet?
I don't know. I'm going to have to ask her. I'm seeing her tomorrow night, so I'll have to ask her.
It seems like a book. I don't know. Interesting to see if your mom will like that one.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because it's horror.
She might give up on it. She might say, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. Do you want to talk about this one?
You can go ahead.
One? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next one is a book we got from Book of the Month. I know it is Black Cake. I'm sure this is a book you've seen around. I feel like I see this book everywhere.
It's embarrassing how long it's been on my shelf, so I need to read it.
Yeah, this is a January 2022 Book of the Month.
Yeah,
book.
I need to read it.
I mean, I read through the synopsis before we started. You loved it. Oh, it's a Hulu show.
Yes, I did know that. And I believe she even is coming out or did come out with a new book now as well. I'm pretty sure I just saw that recently.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Mary, have you seen that? Because I could have sworn that I saw one. And I'm like, oh, I still need to read Black Cake.
Yeah. This looks very interesting. It's
got like it's
yeah,
like it's a generation, like a family generational
and there's
story.
Eleanor Bennett's death leaves behind a puzzling inheritance for her 2 children.
Yeah, she did just release a new one. That's what I thought.
Yeah. But I don't know. This is a book that I feel like I see everywhere, and I'm like, oh, that looks so good. You haven't read the new one yet? Okay. But so this is one that Katie definitely has to read, and I
think you would like it as well.
I'm looking like I may enjoy this
one
book
that we do as
as
like
well.
A buddy read.
Maybe. It's a story. It's a story of how the inheritance of betrayal, secrets, memories, and even names can shape relationships and history. So I don't know.
You're all about the family. Family drama and
you talk about inheritance and family drama.
Yep, I think you would like that one.
I am interested. And this book is just so attractive.
Isn't it? Yeah, it really is.
But yeah, I feel like everywhere we go, I see this book, and I'm like, is that like a sign? Like there's certain books I see everywhere, and I haven't read them, and it's like, I feel like it's a sign.
I'll read it. Yeah.
Like the book's just like punching me in the face, in a good way.
Yeah. And then last but not least, and I am like literally sitting here just like going like this to my book.
Don't
by
pet
the way.
you can pet them.
That's what I do to my aardvark book. So here's another aardvark pick. This one you could get for $4. I don't think they've run out of it yet. I mean, don't quote me on that. The only way for you to find out is to go in and try to put it in your cart, and it might pop up saying it's out of stock. But from what I was seeing is that just the signed copies are out of stock, which they were even for me by the time I went on. And I didn't even take that long to go on to order, but I think a bunch of people literally set alarms because they went on like right when you could.
Yeah.
And then those signed copies like sold out like crazy. But this is still a special edition.
You gotta show you the cover of this.
It's gorgeous. This is called The Reformatory by Tana. I can't even say it.
Tananarive.
Tananarive, thank you. Tananarive Dew. She's got like a long name there. But this is what they call this, like ombre. Yeah, like it's so pretty.
Man,
look at that.
I know.
That is a gorgeous book right there.
This is a book you need like display it
I know.
naked. Like,
I know. I think I'm gonna have to like
outwards.
once I read it. So I got this book from the library a while back because I thought, okay, well, I missed out on getting it from Aardvark because the first time they released it at whatever time that was last year, they ran out and they didn't come back with more. So I was like, I was like beating myself up for not getting it like on that particular month. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just check it out from the library. So I did do that, and I barely got into it, and I was like, this might be one I need to listen to on audio at that particular time. So I started doing that, and I'm not super far in. So I think when I pick this up, I'm going to just like start back at the beginning, do it physically, again, be in the right mindset for it, because I've heard really, really excellent things. So that's the reason they came back with it, with this gorgeous special edition, is because it got voted it was a Members' Choice Award.
It was.
So out of like all the books last year that Aardvark released, this was the one that people voted on for the most.
Oh, really?
To win. So they were able to get more
they
copies.
re-released a special edition.
Yes, and brought it back as a special edition, and then there were very, very limited signed copies. So mine is not signed, but I still have this lovely edition. This takes place in June 1950 in Gracetown, Florida. So this is, they categorize this as a horror, but also definitely historical fiction.
Yeah.
12-year-old Robbie Stevens Jr. is sentenced to 6 months at the Gracetown School for Boys for kicking the son of the largest landowner in town in defense of his older sister, Gloria. So begins Robbie's journey further into the terrors of the Jim Crow South and the very real horror of the school they call the Reformatory. So I'll skip down. It says the Reformatory is a haunting work of historical fiction written as only American Book Award-winning author Tananarive, is that how you say it? Tananarive? There we go. Could, by piecing together the life of the relative her family never spoke of and bringing his tragedy and those of so many others at the infamous Dozier School for Boys to light in this riveting novel. So I don't know that it's necessarily like a, thrilling, fast-paced read, so I might struggle there, but I have heard that it's very engrossing, though, and should keep your attention. And I think I just had, when I started it and barely got into it, I just clearly had way too many books going at the same time, which I'm very notorious for, which is what I did with All the Colors of the Dark, too, and that was my mistake. So I want to, like, be able to, really try to focus on this one when I pick it up next. And it is a bit longer. So this one is like what is this one? Maybe almost 600 pages. Yep. Verging on that. 565 pages.
When's your goal? When's your goal to read that one? What month?
Well, I'd like to read it next month.
You would?
Yeah. So I already feel like I've got like so many others up in my head that I want to do, but that's why you have it be hopefuls, because I really, probably will not get to all.
You remember what it's called when you finish it too?
It's a doneful.
Doneful.
I have a few of those already for this month. I'm pretty proud of my progress as well.
We're doing really
even though
well.
I made my goal a little less attainable than yours, but I feel like I'm still doing, like, for me, it's actually pretty good for me to be reading the books that I said I was going to read at the beginning of the month.
It was good for us to make our hopefuls list.
Because I've really never, I shouldn't say I've never experimented with that before, but I've never like really taken it seriously.
And we showed them to the world. So there was accountability there. And
I've been then resharing my post that I made. So I've been kind of periodically putting it, like resharing it again in my stories. Yeah. So it was a post I had already done. Like it's on my feed on Instagram, but like I reshare it and then do like little check marks on the books that I have like completed off of my hopeful list.
So we'll do it again for February.
Of course I cheated and I did start that one that I showed at the beginning. What was it? Cross
my heart.
Cross my heart.
Yeah.
Because I had to. It looked so good.
You went off book a little bit.
I went off a little bit. But I'm still tackling the other ones that are on there. So I'm proud of myself.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know.
So it is hard for me to stick to a plan because I am a mood reader through and through, and I get so distracted by so many
plans are very
books.
good.
Yeah.
What were your final thoughts on the last one at the wedding?
Oh, do I read it?
Yes, I would say yes.
Yeah.
I think everyone in our book club, except for one, overall
genuinely liked it.
Overall
I
liked it.
Gave it 3.5 stars or more.
I mean, it was a 4-star for me. I think you said 3.5, 4.
Yeah.
But I thought it was worth it. I think it was well written. I would recommend it for sure, especially if you're new to thrillers or mysteries and you want something to start off reading.
Well, I don't know. Part of me thinks, though, too, that you need to reframe your brain before you go into it, though. Because I think if you go into it genuinely thinking it's a thriller, I do think you'll be disappointed. So I will say that.
Yeah.
I feel like if you take it for what it actually is, which is like a slow burn mystery, and it's got like family trauma, family ties, even some found family aspects to it, then I think you would be pleased. Like like the
only one left? Yeah.
Yes,
people did
actually a couple people
that.
compared it to that, and I loved The Only One Left, so I will say I liked that one better than the last one at the wedding, but I do still think it was a solid read.
Yeah, and there was enough twists, and there was enough to keep your attention. That the characters were, I thought they're all developed really well.
It was good character development for sure.
Yeah, I just thought it was really well written, and the ending wasn't exactly how I wanted it to end, but it was very good ending, and everything was tied together.
It was interesting though, because I feel like sometimes, so that's why I think book club is so fun, because it kind of gives you a little bit of a different perspective too once you talk about it with other people. Because everybody was saying how unsatisfied they were with the ending, but I felt like when we were done with our call, I actually was maybe appreciating the ending more than I did originally, because somebody in our group said, I actually liked the ending, and then he explained why, and I was like, oh, like when you kind of look at it in a different light, I'm like, oh, I can actually kind of see why he ended it that way.
It was satisfying. The ending was satisfied.
Like, I mean, I feel like right before the ending though, it did feel slightly abrupt. I will say that. Yeah. That it almost felt a little like
that's always helpful.
A little rushed, or I don't know, but it's still, I don't know.
Yeah.
Still think.
I overall thought it was a great book. It had great discussion. Everyone seemed to like it. I mean, no one really thought it was like the best book ever, or like loved it. There was no 5.
Loved it.
There was one 5-star.
Yeah.
One person gave it 5 stars. True. But there was definitely enough to this book that it was good. It was very enjoyable. There was a lot going on, and there was a lot of little nuggets.
Yeah. I enjoyed Hidden Pictures more than this one by him, but I know not everybody is a horror reader as well. So that's the thing. These books by the same author are very, very different. Very different. Hidden Pictures is definitely like a horror psychological thriller.
The ending felt rushed for me, but I think made sense for Frank didn't. Yeah.
Said that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just always nice to hear people's different takes on things, and
we had a good discussion.
Yeah, we did.
And I think overall it was an enjoyable book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're excited for next month's club.
Yeah, we always seem to have pretty good chats.
And sometimes sometimes if there's a lot of questions in the book, it just creates better discussion.
Yeah, I would say even if a book does fall flat, I've started to embrace that more, because that's something that I struggle with like my in-person book club, is I sometimes take it personally when a book doesn't do well. And a lot of my friends in book club are like, Katie, you didn't write the book. Like, you didn't know that it wasn't going to be a solid read. I'm like, I know, but I still feel bad. I want everybody to like it. And sometimes that just doesn't happen. And so really sometimes you can actually get really good discussion out of a book that wasn't great.
Yeah. And a couple of months ago we talked about We Used to Live Here. Mm-hmm. And that book just had so many unanswered questions, which was intentional for the author. Mm-hmm. But the discussion was awesome, because everyone had all these theories. We were like, here's how we wanted it to end, what's going to happen next. Mm-hmm. So it was awesome. Mm-hmm. So like in terms of book club book, this was a great one. That was a great one. Mm-hmm. I think our next months should be good discussion. Mm-hmm. I mean, we read a romance in December that was a miss. Yeah. But it also created great discussion because of that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how most book club pickers feel. Yes, because I'm the one who started both book clubs, so I feel like I feel like the pressure of like I want everybody to love it. And there's been some that I'm the one who picked it and I still didn't love it. Yeah. So it's just like that does happen.
But in our virtual book club, we do give options. Mm-hmm. We generally give 5 options.
I don't just say like, oh, this is what we're reading. So I do pick the ones that we're going to vote from. But still, ultimately, the one that wins is the one that has the most.
So, like, there's 5 options in a similar genre, and it's like, so you do get an option. Yeah. In your in-person club, it is more decided in a way.
Yeah.
So you might take it more personally.
So one of my friends, like, we've now started to like we get together and sit and brainstorm based on what we think our group overall enjoys, and of course, you can't make everybody happy at the end of the day. So we kind of bring our ideas just between the two of us and then narrow it down and pick. But we've also told our group that like things are negotiable. Like if there's a book on there that like the majority of people are like, oh, that doesn't look good, or I don't want to read that. Yeah. Then like, okay, we're open to other suggestions and we'll change it. But yeah.
That reminds us, we have to pick a March book.
We do. We need to get a little ahead now with our virtual book club.
What theme? We need a theme though. We need a theme.
Yeah, we don't really need a theme. It could just be random.
Well, a genre. Or whatever.
A specific genre.
We'll just do whatever we want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
But.
Yeah, I think that's all we got for tonight.
If anyone's got more questions, we have no more books to talk about down here. And we have like tons back here.
Yeah.
So if you didn't see, we did we'll talk about this briefly. We did something on Instagram where Katie asked to guess how many books we had in our personal library. Mm-hmm.
Like in our house, like kids' books included.
Green covers.
Green covers. That's a good idea, Mary.
That's a good theme because it's
we have plenty of green books.
It's not narrowed down to genre. Then that's a good theme. Mm-hmm. So Katie had everyone guess how many books we had in our home library, and this was including our children's books. So that threw some people off because it is a part of 650. Oh, you're guessing. You're guessing.
Definitely higher than that. Yeah.
So the total was 1,184.
Yep. So that's including children's books.
Yeah. So I don't know. You'd probably say half kids' books.
I know. I was gonna say I kind of wish I would have.
Our kids have a lot of books.
Figured out like
which is
what
excellent.
Is just between the two of us, but I might have to report back.
980. Keep going.
So yeah, we do qualify as an official like home library. Yes, it's a lot. I was even surprised by that number as well.
Yeah. But one thing we did talk about last episode, we have to count
you guessed way too low.
we have to count how many books that are on our TBR. Like how many books
ones that we have and literally have not read.
Because that was something that came up. How many books do we have that we haven't read yet? Because that's
way too many.
That'd be a good number too. Because it's most of them.
Yeah, I would say it's a much smaller amount that's in our book nook that are read books.
But our kids have a very impressive library. And we have books everywhere, up in our room, down here, in the basement. In their playroom, they have most of the books.
I don't know if I've talked about this on here before. Maybe I have. We've done so many of these episodes now, it's hard to remember. But I used to be a consultant with Usborne Books and More, and they changed their name to Paper Pie like a couple years ago. So that's why we have developed quite the library for our kids. So I'm no longer pursuing it. I was doing it very casually for pretty much like all of 2024, and then stopped entirely right at the end, which is still sometimes bittersweet for me, but it just was not fruitful enough. Like, I'll just put it that way. I was putting a lot of effort in and not really
fruitful anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But it was really good for a long time, and it actually like really helped us out financially for quite some time, and so I feel really grateful. Oh, I love that. TBR owned and Red owned. She has like lists specified on Goodreads. That's cool.
Oh, nice.
So you can make like different lists and shelves and stuff like that on Goodreads. Yeah. But yeah, so I did that for how many years? I started that in like
5 or 6
2018.
Yeah.
Like
you were going pretty hard for about 5 years.
For a while, yeah. So it was beneficial to our family in many ways. And yeah, so I have them to credit for the amazing library that I've built for my kids. And we have passed some of the books on, especially the little like itty bitty, more like baby.
Or we put them in free libraries.
Like little free libraries,
or pass them to nieces, nephews.
And yeah, Lord willing, if we ever have grandkids someday, it would be nice to hang on to at least some of their collection, to still have around. So yeah, we're definitely not gonna like get rid of all of their children's books, and I just feel like I wouldn't want to anyway. Like I am sentimental that way, and I do like to have the kid books. But
what we're saying, half of that number is probably children's books.
I was like really trying to. I mean, I wanted them for my kids, but also like when I was pursuing a business, I want like every time we came out with new releases, I would get quite a few of them because I wanted to be able to showcase them, and you can order here and like get these ones for your kids, and so
we should
probably how that happened.
We should probably do a separate count of just our personal library, you and me, and then also
just to
separate
see
count
the
of
breakdown there.
How many of those are unread books?
Yeah,
because that's
I don't know that I want to tell people that.
We're trying to take a small break from purchasing too many books.
Yeah, but I mean, Aardvark is gonna stay steady.
We're working with Aardvark now, so
but I did cancel my Book of the Month subscription officially, so that's bye.
Yeah.
I do have Kindle Unlimited, so that's like digital books. But
But we cannot turn down a used book sale.
Yeah, used book sale.
Or every time we go to the thrift store. We love going to thrift stores for lots of reasons, but we just go to the book section.
Yep.
Because
sometimes they have a decent selection.
There's always books they're talking to you.
The thrift store, so I don't know.
But we have a lot to read, so we're trying to tame it down. But
of course, 2025 is like filled with so many amazing new books coming out. So
I've already bought 3 this month.
It's difficult.
Sometimes they just fall into your bag and you have to buy them.
Because like I've already told them, I'm like, oh yeah, there's like so-and-so coming out with a new book this year. I'm going to get it. Like I will be buying it. So I'm like, just to forewarn you, I have Onyx Storm coming to me soon. So
hopefully tomorrow.
If any of you are Empyrean series readers, Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and now Onyx Storm. So I'm excited for that. I pre-ordered it. And it's supposed to be arriving by the end of the day tomorrow because it does publish tomorrow. But I haven't gotten like a shipping notification yet. So I keep telling Corey, I'm like, it keeps saying in Amazon that it's arriving by 10 p.m. tomorrow. But I'm like, how's it going to arrive if it hasn't even shipped yet? So I don't know if it's still going to somehow ship between right now and I don't know. But I'm preparing myself to not actually get it tomorrow.
And it's cold.
Which is fine because I have, as we've been talking about, lots of books to keep me busy in the meantime. But then I just don't want to see any spoilers anywhere on social media. So I'm a little nervous about that because there's going to be people who will literally read it in a day and want to talk about it. I'll be like, keep that off social media.
Yeah.
Okay, so yours says Wednesday.
Yours says Wednesday.
Oh, Full Tilt by Emma Scott. I don't think I've heard of that book before. I'll have to look that up.
But it's kind of like we're trying to be more intentional about
reading the books we own.
Reading the books we own, but also creating hopefuls. But like when we went book shopping a couple weeks ago, one of the books I got new there is now like
I want to read that.
I want to read this one. This one's so much shinier. It's like the shiny new thing.
Yep.
But so we'll figure it out. There's no science to reading, especially when you're read by mood and by day and by weather and by
as we've discussed many times.
What month is on the cover of the book?
In our reels, it's like reading books and buying books are very different hobbies. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And collecting books, we've talked about, is a hobby of ours. We don't collect really anything else. We're not people who collect fine china.
I don't have like handbags or purses or shoes or that kind of thing.
We collect books.
Yeah.
And I think they are very attractive. We have these lit bookshelves behind us.
Part of your decor at that point, so I'm fine with it. I don't look at it like as clutter like maybe some people do.
So we don't mind. We definitely want to get to a point where we have a library of our own personal books. So like that'd be
without kids' books.
So that'd be 1,000 of our own books. And we're well on our way.
We'll get there. Yep, eventually.
We're well on our way.
Because we're not going to stop buying books, is what we're saying. So.
Yeah.
Organized clutter. I like that. That's very true. Yeah.
And I think if they are displayed well, they look great.
They do look nice.
They look great. I mean, I've always imagined, we keep showing the aardvark books, like
taking
their
off their
naked
dust
spines.
And
I just imagine, like, one day we could probably do it where we have, like, our own nice bookshelf just full of those books.
Those books specifically.
It would look amazing. It would look so nice.
Yep. All right, we've gone
longer. We're past the hour.
Yep,
so
we like to do that. So
yeah.
We appreciate everybody who's watched to the end.
Everyone who stayed on the whole.
Chatted with us.
Yeah.
This
makes me happy.
Same.
I know, for real, like, sometimes we'll just stare at them.
I just like being by them. Like, just looking at the shelves.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks, Sally.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta stare at them, and then one of them or two of them seem to speak to you.
Speaking to you.
That's how you know those are next. There's certain books that every time I look at our bookshelves, I always gravitate towards those books. And that's like my sign. I'm gonna do it. Yes.
Yes.
I'm glad you made it. Yeah. Just every Monday. Every Monday at 8, we're
Mary.
gonna be here.
Yeah, we're glad to.
We can always count on Mary. Thank you.
But yeah, we will catch you next time for this one, and then we'll have like our shorter.
We've been
filming this.
We've been filming our beer and books on Friday nights, and then we post them on Saturday.
Sometime on Saturday. So that'll be our next video.
And we are talking about another series. We'll see if it happens, but
yeah.
We want to do a book swap.
Yes.
So
we'll have to. We'll talk about it on Friday.
Yeah, we'll talk about our book swap on Friday. So make sure to tune in for that.
Yep. But it was great chatting with you all, and we'll talk to you next time.